wrecked through a bunch of smokes at B early on in rounds, didn't even have a chance to see anybody, but still, you gotta do better than that. This is a map on the CT side, he's gonna be playing that A-bomb site, he needs to step up and play it well. And this is also where Nifty's gonna have a lot more opportunities with the op. This is a map where it can be more effective, so we need to see him be able to step up and play with it as well. As we are gonna see right now, Dignitas setting up for some type of smoke execute here on the A-bomb site. Very commonly that type of stuff on pistol rounds, so here it comes.
It doesn't fend off Uber though. He's still up on the toll booth. He's going to land at least one headshot, backs off away, but he's going to eat so much grenade damage, down to 2. He did have a partner in crime over there. Meanwhile, Tensky's managed to charge his way up into jungle, gets put down with ease from main line. The bomb's been planted. Here comes Mitch as well. Was doing a pretty solid job when he has the pistol. And 2 players remain, but it's Config. It's that man, the unkillable, the unattainable man in pistol rounds. And there's the first headshot. Rubino's in as well. Config's still alive. There's another frag to him, and Rubino's gone horribly wrong. And now it's on Uber, and he gets picked off. It was, what, a 2v4 or 2v5? And Dignitas have claimed it for themselves once again.
I don't know what I just witnessed. How quickly the tides turn. I guess it's the only thing that I could say. I thought someone had that. They were able to get Tensky pushing stairs. Uber had that great initial cut at the very beginning, peeking over a smoke. It looked like it was well set up for them to win the round, and then right there, all of a sudden you see Config Rubino begin chiming in, and they bring it right back, and now they're up 1-0. Again, they're setting up for some type of a execute right off the back. We don't really have any stack or pushes here from Selfless. They're just playing default positions with some upgraded pistols, but it's not fully invested. They're not going for armor and all that crazy stuff, so this should be an easy round for Dignitas in theory, unless Uber hits some crazy deagle shots.
Seems to line him up forever. Doesn't get the headshot though. I don't think he even did that much damage overall. And again, he's in CT, and again, he's going to have grenades thrown his way. Pushes through the smoke, and will be met with Rubino. Config eviscerating through onto Mitch. Second kill for him in connector. And Nifty gets destroyed through the toll booth. So as expected, Dignitas pick up a very easy 2-0. And Selfless right back to the drawing board.
And they'll be on another pistol save here. Yet again, we do see a couple of upgraded pistols being purchased, but of course, full saving. Definitely going to see Nifty on an op next round. They do sometimes double op with relics, so I'm not sure if they're going to go to that right away, or if that's going to be something they save for later as an adjustment if it's needed. That is a very heavy investment to go double op in your first purchase. So we'll have to see, but they are going to stack the A-bomb site this time. And once again, Dignitas are looking to split. They will have one up connector this time, so maybe he actually spots a little bit of this. We'll see what happens. Here comes the execute.
Nifty with the USP actually gets it done. Config and Kirby are both coming in for frags though. Relics on firebox. Close range. Can't really get anything from that confrontation, and Dignitas again. And just going to walk over the finish line in round 3. But here we go. Selfless are going to have a buy this time. And it's going to include an AWP again on Nifty. What can he do with it?
Let's see what he can do at middle. That's going to be the big thing. And you know Dignitas are going to go for that control, usually parking Rubino outside A, Tensky in the B halls, and they're just going to work that 1-3-1, get mid control, work that slower, more methodical style, and see what they can do. Now, granted, they might change it up a bit this time since they're still on an SMG and a Galil. Maybe they're going to want to get more aggressive with those lesser guns, as you do see, in fact, 4 of those guys heading towards upper B with MSL alone over here at mid, using that smoke at back hat to get to the boxes for free. We do see Nifty actually going aggressive pals with that op. He does like to do that. Unfortunately, he's missed it. As we do have a huge push coming up here soon.
It was all based on his spawn. He had the best possible spawn to peak that. So he's hoping that we'd see some action in Palace, but instead it's over on the B side. A couple of kills are exchanged, but it's going to go very briskly the way of Dignitas. Mitch will be momentarily silenced, and already you can see Selfless just setting up for the save.
Yeah, Nifty, a very dynamic opera on the CT side. It's going to be all over the place, just unfortunately, you know, picked wrong on that one, and the B defense unable to really do a whole lot. Traded 1 for 2. Definitely not efficient. Dignitas will take it now. 4-0. Selfless will likely save all 3 of these guns. I'm not sure if Dignitas is really going to go out and chase after these or not.
At this point, maybe send Config off on a one-man wrecking crew mission. He's definitely up to the task. But yeah, you don't want to be throwing away all these weapons. Yeah, they'll be moving 4-0 ahead, but probably not worth. He's going to get 1 kill for his troubles. Worth it for Config. They can easily replenish the weapon. Uber's going to take down the AWP instead. And it looks like they will save these 2. So that's 11.6k worth of equipment value that will be traversing through into round 5. But again, it's been a really rough, rocky start for Selfless.
Inferno started out close. This one has started out in a landslide for Dignitas, but of course, Selfless only really had one shot at it thus far. Didn't work out. We will see that they still have that op in play over to Nifty. It looks like they have bought pistols and such around it. Actually, they were able to afford a couple of more rifles and a mag 7 on mainline, so there's a little bit of a disparity there, but still well set up. And Dignitas, they're not playing their normal style. They're going for these very heavy executes very early in rounds. This is very uncharacteristic of Dignitas. Getting super aggressive in Selfless's face. I don't think they were expecting this type of game.
It's now Nifty's turn to get up on the toll booth box and manages to convert what Uber couldn't earlier, and that's a frag. Meanwhile, the rest of Dignitas look to charge their way through the smoke, through the fire and flames, onto the A site, and so far so good. The bomb hasn't been put down, but Kirby is going to get the drop onto Mitch, looking for a second kill, transfers it onto mainline. Great individual play, but Relix has somehow managed to snake his way all the way around the back. Can he get anything feasibly done from this position? And not for the first time he has the drop.
It's deja vu from the apartments play on Inferno on the pistol round happening to him again, getting the jump on someone and not being able to capitalize on it. Granted, he probably had no chance at winning the round anyway, but it's still kind of a hit to your confidence when you're missing shots like that you really should be getting. And now Dignitas, again, just playing way different than I'm used to seeing them play. Way more aggressive, way more execute heavy, but it's working. You know, I think they're really just, bullying Selfless at this point, just all across the map. Now we do see them falling back to more of a standard setup for themselves, just getting that mid control. Uber only able to defend it with a scout. They have a stack on the A-bomb site, which is going to be quickly detected because Config has already caught Relix's push, and it looks like Rubino's going to pick up on a little bit more of it as well, and there's the frag. So this round already pretty much a wash, as Dignitas should be moving up to a 6-0 lead. And what a dominant game this has been.
Absolutely. One-way traffic with Dignitas in the driver's seat. Uber, come on, give us something to cheer about. No, or get wrecked. That works as well. Dignitas 6-0. But what can you say, Dust? It's just been Dignitas looking several leagues above Selfless here.
Absolutely. You got Config just playing like a madman throughout this series thus far. He's already up to 13 frags and 6 rounds played, so he's definitely putting in his work. And again, that was a guy that we were a bit concerned about on whether he was going to be able to get back to performing well, because yeah, sure, KRB's been great and you have all the tactics in the world, but you need the firepower. You got to hit the shots, and so Config's been the one that people have been hoping would do that, and he's so far really living up to it. Like Richard Lewis said, if he continues to play like this throughout the tournament, Dignitas are putting themselves in a good position to be favorites to certainly make it to the finals at least. But this is Selfless's next chance. They're fully bought up again. Nifty this time are going to have the op over at an A anchor position. They're really putting a lot of emphasis with rifles on middle, but Dignitas just shredding through it.
That's the issue. They get weapons and they instantly get knocked down. Kirby, you can see him preemptively checking every single corner and connector. And Relix, well, didn't have a chance, didn't know what hit him. Dignitas with a 2-player lead. And I've got to say, Config as well right now on 210 ADR. He's averaging more than 2 kills worth of damage. That is nuts. Yes, it's just 6 rounds, but it goes to show how dominant he's been so far and how he has got so many kills under his belt. Mainline, Nifty, last 2 remaining players, and this is already getting into nightmare territory for Selfless. Nifty is at least going to pull down MSL with the NA squad. Can he get the second?
He's trying to save this op. His player, Mainline's already so far away, not going to be able to help him out of that situation, so the op is going to go down. Mainline, no real chance to recapture it, so Dignitas going to go up 7-0. Another clean win. That's the other thing. These rounds haven't even been close. Most of them. They've been just Dignitas rolling over Selfless. They're about to be up 7-0. There's never even really been a round where I feel like Selfless had a chance, except for the pistol. That was the only round where it looked like Selfless were going to be able to take it. Couldn't do it, and since then, Dignitas have just been, steaming through this game with ease.
I'll be curious to see what the scoreboard reads right now. I think it would be an absolute nightmare for Selfless. You can see that. Over the duration of 7 rounds, they've only picked up 9 kills. That is a brutal statistic.
Yeah, so tactical timeout coming in here from Selfless. I don't know what you really talk about here. I think this is more of a timeout where you just kind of gather yourselves, just kind of calm down. Obviously, things aren't going well. The thing is, in a situation like this, it's not like you have much to read into. Dignitas hasn't done anything special. They've just straight up executed you quickly, or they've played their default, and they're just out-aiming you all across the map. Any time that Selfless has had an angle on a player, for the most part, Dignitas has come in, peeked in, got the kill. I mean, they're just outclassing Selfless when it just comes to fragging power. That's really all it is. I mean, we looked at the scoreboard. You can clearly see the difference there is that Dignitas are just hitting everything, and Selfless aren't coming up with much.
Well, the thing is, Config has 5 more kills just by himself than the entirety of Selfless put together. He's on 14, Selfless have 9. But how do you even factor in for Config just cleaning up so hard?
It's one of those situations where Ryu's obviously the coach from this team. He's going to be talking to his guys here. And again, I think this is one of those situations where you just have to calm them down and be like, look, we're getting destroyed right now. It's obvious. But it's not like there's any counter they can come up with, or there's not any read that they can have about what Dignitas is doing to punish them. It's just straight up whatever Dignitas does works. It's just one of those situations where if everything works, there's nothing broken. There's no mistake that you can find to try to exploit. It's really just going to be about getting your act together and being able to put out some frags on the board. I think is the biggest thing here.
Sometimes you just get out-fragged. It's that simple. We're not really seeing any avenging kills coming in from Selfless either. Typically, they'll get picked off one after one after one, and nothing really comes back.
Right.
So I would also be interested in the halftime period to see the first kills. I'm not sure Selfless have got a single first kill, or if they have, it's just 1 or 2. Out of 9 rounds.
I'm trying to think on what Selfless could do different here. I mean, they've already tried to be quite aggressive. In fact, I don't think Nifty's op mid a single time. I think every time he's had the op, he's either played like an A anchor role. Our riflers have tried to do something middle, or he's pushed Palace, and he obviously missed the mark there because the execute was on the other side of the map. So I don't know if they just fall back into something more standard and passive, because again, they've tried the aggro plays. I mean, they haven't straight up pushed mid yet, so maybe you throw that in there, try to contest Dignitas on that front. But otherwise, it's really just comes down to the basic premise of needing to hit your shots, and they just haven't yet. Obviously, this round, they're going to be in for trouble as they're only on pistols in this one M4, but down the line when they get money again, they're going to have to, get it together.
In best case scenario right now, if everything went to plan, if a miracle came in as 8-7, and I just don't think that's good enough against Dignitas, like straight up. But maybe we'll see something special. Uber and Mitch with a 5-7 and the P250 are going to do the work. Relics is there for a second as well. Actually looking really good for Selfless, so it seems this pause has given them a chance to rack their brains together and figure out what was happening. Just give them a chance to dust off the tilt, maybe. Now it's all on Tensky. Selfless, please, from a neutral's perspective, win this round. If you don't win this, I'm just going to walk out, like straight up. Because I just wouldn't be able to deal with it, Dust.
Yeah, if you're losing this round, there's not much hope for you at this point. This should be an easy win, and they are going to be able to get it. So it's just another A bomb site stack from Selfless that Dignitas actually finally fall prey to. I mean, they've run into this a couple of times, but they've been able to deal with it. This time around, not the case. We were able to get a kill, get control of the ramp, pick up a rifle, and now Selfless are going to be able to carry over a couple of guns into this. But here's the big fear. If they get their money reset right here, you can see that they still had to rebuy a few players. That's going to put you almost, I mean, at least one force fire save or something like that. So the Dignitas are just right back at you at that point. So it's very important that, yes, they win this round. They need to do so efficiently, but trying to go for a 3-man push here at middle. MSL has already spotted it and dealt a lot of damage, and there comes the frag, but Nifty has picked up one as well.
Oh, he's going to be able to survive as well, extinguishing the Molotov. Flash out in mid. And actually looks to push down instead. QB is there onto Mitch. Bomb's been planted in the meanwhile. Relics is going to try and do something from Connector, but has to wait for the rest of his team to get close enough. If he pushes by himself, he's a dead man. He may very well be a dead man anyway. Tensky will oblige him. Headshot from just behind the site. Mainline comes in, does significant damage. The rest of Dignitas are so low. Just 1 HP on MSL, 9 on QB, but they're probably going to make this work unless Mainline can put this incendiary into Palace and pick up the frag on Sandwich at the same time. The time is ticking down. Second frag comes in. Does he realize where the last player is? Clearly not, as he's going to Molotov the CT side. So unfortunate. Nice try from Mainline, but Dignitas have picked up their 8th, and in doing so, have reset the economy of Selfless. 3 players can't buy, though.
Yeah, there are 3 players that have enough money to buy. Mainline could even perhaps do a drop, and at this point, you got to start winning rounds here. So I think they are going to go ahead and go for it. They won't have an op on Nifty, but he hasn't done much with it anyhow. So they just will go for the rifles, except for Mitch, who is going to be on just the Deagle here. And that's just a good read from Dignitas. MSL, feels all that pressure at mid, knows that means the sites are exposed. They're just going to be able to roll 4 players into the A-bomb site and deal with the round. So now they just increased their lead ever more at this point. Nifty trying to challenge with the M4 at middle, but he's been smoked out. And now Dignitas are back to basics, back to their default, just getting control of middle. Mainline has gotten aggressive at upper B, and Mitch just pushed out Cat, so they're looking to see if they can find something, but so far, it hasn't really amounted to much. But there is Mainline getting a frag.
Solid kill, alleviates some pressure on the B side. He can now start to relocate back onto the site itself, but Dignitas have shown a lot more interest in pushing mid to A than they have B. So again, can Selfless fend off this charge? Kiyobi taking point in connector. Rubino, meanwhile, is going to pick himself up the first kill, and MSL is there as well. Selfless in a 3-on-3. Just a deagle in the hands of Mitch, though. Flashbang keeps Nifty at base. He's not going to be able to stop this plant. Goes down. MSL in window. Solid positions assumed from Dignitas. Nifty's going to get double teamed as Config with 2, and Rubino in the end give Dignitas their 9-1 lead. After the force up from Selfless, you can see their economy is in tatters.
It's just Dignitas making a slight variation from that foundation of mid-control. This time they're much heavier up connector than they have been. Usually it's just been MSL solo coming up there with everyone else kind of hitting from Rampant Palace. This time they put a lot of pressure on there, and Relics was the only person in the area to defend against that heavy of a push up connector and jungle, and he gets taken down with only 1 frag. And now Selfless are back onto saving again here, just some upgraded pistols to work with. So Dignitas most likely going to find themselves in the double digits here in the next few seconds as they're preparing for yet again another one of these heavy executes, and it was a B bomb site stack this time from Selfless, so they're probably not going to meet really any resistance at all at this point.
Yeah, it's looking so unlikely, isn't it? Uber would have to pull off a godlike play to even take down a couple players from this point. MSL was very nearly getting picked off through the smoke at 21 HP. The P250 was tapping across, but doesn't connect. Bomb down, job done from Dignitas. Another kill comes in, and now it's just a formality. Selfless will be walking into the site, and they will be dying. Question is, can they take any players down with them? And the answer is looking like a resounding no. Mitch with the P250, all that remains, and he's next in the chopping block. Dignitas already with 10. This CT performance so far from Selfless is it's been a bit lackluster. Although take nothing away from Dignitas, they have looked solid today.
Absolutely, especially Config. That's been the guy I've been wondering how he would do. Seems like KRB's been pretty reliable, but Config is just hit a massive level today, and it's definitely thrown Selfless for a loop at this point, as this is going to be one of their last full buys. And again, they still can't really get an op. So we are going to see a little bit more aggression this time. Mainline this time pushing underpass, one of the few things they haven't actually pushed yet, but there's Tensky to put a stop to it. So an instant 5 versus 4 here from Dignitas. And they're the type of team, when you give them advantages like this, they're unlikely to lose the round from this point forward.
Well, the nuts statistic here is Config, I think, has just dropped to 40 collectively over the first 2 maps. And when you consider the first map was over pretty fast, and this could be going over pretty fast as well, that is ridiculous. He's on 24 kills in that first one. There you go, there's 41. Mitch will go down alongside Mainline. And with just a few flashes left for Selfless, it's looking like it's going to go the way of Extinction again here in round 12. Relics is going to do something, though, in window, and gives a bit of glimmer of hope, but it's taken away instantly from Tensky.
Yeah, Dignitas just being able to pick up the aggression from Selfless. Every single time that Selfless has tried to push something, they've been met by a Dignitas player with open arms to get themselves a kill. And it's really hurt Selfless, as they are a very aggressive team on the CT side, and usually they're quite good with it, but like I said, they're up against a different caliber of competition today, and it just hasn't played in their favor. Dignitas up 11-1, just sweeping through. This might wind up being one of the most dominant series we've seen so far today. I think Virtus Pro versus Splice was much closer games than anticipated. Never really thought we'd see that go all 3 maps. I thought Selfless would have at least put up a better showing than this. I thought Dignitas was a clear favorite to 2-0, but I really thought we'd see a bit more. But thus far, it has been nothing but that. It's been Dignitas just having their way with Selfless, whatever they want.
As you saw that stat, 43 kills for Config in this series. Ridiculous. Especially considering how quickly that first map evaporated. Meanwhile, though, Selfless trying to hold on to this B site with the Deagles. A Deagle power is nearly up to the task, but dropping like flies now. Up to Uber with the scout. A couple players are a shot away from death. Config is still high and mighty, though, with his HE. 3 kills for Rubino in this round. There's the jump shot. Rubino's going to fall down next. Oh my goodness, if that had connected. He's going to push, though, with his USP. Should find the kill onto MSL. Close range on Config. He's on the prowl. Going to be relocating, not trying to give his position away until the sure kill is there. He may even be playing with his food at this point. He's going to be playing with his food, absolutely. Uber, please spin around and headshot him. No, it's going to be a knife on the bomb. And just rubbing salt in the wounds. Dignitas, no mercy, no chill. Full wreckage.
Savage. I mean, what a rough way to lose a 1 versus 1. That's actually a round where you feel like you finally have a chance to put one on the board, and then they get it robbed away from you like that. That's insane. As we're looking at someone I'm just going to config there, 139 ADR this map right now. Absurd.
And you can see there the best players up on the screen. Config, of course, will be very much worthy of that title for Dignitas. The rest of the team really has been playing well on top of that. You know, it hasn't just been a case of them carrying and everyone else has been trash. Everyone from Dignitas has been putting in a shift today. 12-1.
It's a big opportunity to miss there from Nitty. Had a chance to get a kill at the op in middle, missed it. Now Tinsky once again clearing out Overby, getting both those kills. Those are trades you gotta get, especially given the score, but unable to do so. Dignitas again just picking up all this aggression. Anytime Selfless has pushed something, they've been met by bullets of Dignitas and death. And here you have Dignitas now up 13-1.
Those are the
That
two
just can't
kills
be
you're
happening.
mentioning. The 2 huge impact kills on the BAP side. This is a Dignitas that we were hoping to see. This is a Dignitas that finally we are seeing at LAN again.
Exactly. I mean, we've been hyping up Config a lot, of course, KRB, another Kier's on the team, but it's Rubino's been that third guy for me that's usually pretty consistent.
Yep.
Not a star player on the team by any means, but certainly a guy that you usually can expect to do pretty well, and he's also been putting in the work. So definitely, this is a good shot for Dignitas. I mean, they're taking care of business. This is what they should be doing, right? This is a game that they should be taking away comfortably, and so they're doing their job, basically. I mean, they're delivering on what you were expecting, and now they're looking to possibly lose this round, though, as we have KRB stuck in a 1 versus 3 now, and the bomb's down in a pretty poor position for him to get it back. So maybe Selfless here in the last round of the half will show us a little bit of something.
I want to be optimistic, but does it even matter if Selfless pick up a second round? Like, realistically, with Dignitas going through into the CT
You got to start
side,
somewhere.
I guess every large journey starts with a small step, but, well, there you go. 2 rounds are going to get picked up. Uber at least is top ranking this time, so not quite the 6 for 20 score. He's 9 for 12, but still, it's hard to really get too hype about anything right now from this performance from Selfless.
Yeah, I mean, there's a long road that Selfless has to travel to get back into this game. It starts, of course, with winning the pistol round. Without that, then this is pretty much done with. But if they can get it, maybe there's still a little bit of hope for them. Usually, I would say they're usually more known for their terror side in the NA scene, and Mirage is one of the maps where they can usually put something up. But again, nothing has really gone in their favor today. You know, even on a map like Inferno, their pick, a map they're comfortable on, a map they usually do pretty well on, weren't able to get anything accomplished there. So it's hard to have confidence they'll be able to do it here on Mirage, but we'll just have to sit back and see. I mean, hopefully they'll keep their composure, and they'll be able to put some more rounds on the board, at least make this a competitive game. At this point, just for your mentality going forward. I mean, I know they're a team that doesn't really get shaken that much by things like this, but still, you got to prove to yourself that you can win rounds.
That's it. Confidence is a massive integral part of Counter-Strike. There's no doubting it. Players like Kenny S, who are very emotionally driven players, if he's feeling good, he just cleans up. He's an absolute force of nature. If he's not feeling it, then he can really struggle. So there's no doubting that. And I think Selfless, you know, coming into this against Dignitas, they definitely were the underdogs, but I guess it's the way, the manner that they've been beaten that's going to raise a few more eyebrows. It's not as if we're sat here at like a 13-2, but 5 or 6 rounds went to clutches, or were really close, or someone just exploded with a crazy clutch of their own, like a config clutch from Mirage, for example. From Inferno.
Right. It's one of those things now.
Very one-sided, right?
It's one of those things where I know it's a different 5 players, of course, when they played at the major qualifiers. That's when they, you know, were still using Kusta, and I believe Lucky was involved in that as well. Then not doing well at that LAN, despite the fact that they had been making a name for themselves ever since, I guess, the end of 2015, really back when they were still enemy and they had the original 5. You know, they were doing really well in the NA scene. I mean, this is a team that started, you know, in the Premier Division, won that, worked their way into a professional level, and then slowly climbed the ladder into being a playoff contender in many of the North American online leagues. And now this will be a second LAN in a row, perhaps. Again, different lineup, but still with the core 3 on this team, another event where they're going to go into a LAN, and despite the fact of building up all this hype by playing really well online, and then struggling to do it here in the LAN environment. So that's a story to possibly keep an eye on. I mean, of course, it's not over yet. They still have at least, even if they wind up losing this match, they still have another best of 3 to play in this group, perhaps even more if they can win that and avoid being eliminated. So, I mean, I just hope that they can at least get a little bit of something going. I was hoping to see this be a little bit more competitive. So far, this has been a landslide in favor of Dignitas, but there's still some hope for them, especially if they can win this pistol round, to perhaps get back into this and make a game of it.
Yeah, at least salvage a bit of dignity, I guess, if they can pull it back to like a 16-10, somewhere around that mark. Then it's like, okay, guys, we actually can take rounds off Dignitas. We can hold their heads high. It's a respectable scoreline. But if they end up losing 16-2, it's been one of the most dominant performances I've seen in quite some time. So let's see how Selfless are going to bounce back on this T side, if indeed they can at all. Bit of utility picked up, couple smokes tossed over from ramp side. Going to be looking to land around the CT box and jungle as well. Actually, both around the jungle side. So Relix is just going to charge in with his double frag with the Glocks. Very nicely done from him. MSL in the meanwhile is going to be tapping across with his USP. Can't get it done. Tensky meanwhile is putting down the work from CT spawn. He's going to make sure he keeps alive a little while longer. This allows his two teammates to push in through jungle because he's keeping two players interested. Actually puts down Mitch. Not again, Selfless. You've got to get this round. Mainline, looking for the frag. Config is still alive, finally gets taken down. And Selfless, with a second pistol, give themselves a chance to start to build something on their T-half.
Yeah, Relix got the quad kill that round, so very well done. It's one of those things where you put yourself in a dangerous position when you're planning like that. You have to take control of the CT spawn because you don't have the smoke for it. And it's very hard to play on the A-bomb site without either pushing and taking the fight and winning it or having some type of smoke cover. So they're pushing the CT spawn. They had a tough time taking care of Tensky, actually. So it got a little bit scary there, but they are able to come up with it. So it's 13-3. They're still alive in this game. And if they can, you know, avoid getting ecoed here by Dignitas, who are about to go for a very aggressive A push, they could work themselves into a better position, but this is a round that you can't give up.
Every single round falls into that category, though, when you're 13-3 behind. And Mainline is going to charge in with a Mac-10. MSL, in the meanwhile, should be getting the drop on Mainline, but misses his chance. That's going to be a bit rough for MSL, but I'm sure he can cry into his vast amounts of CT rounds if needs be. Kirby and Tensky, last two remaining players. Kirby lands the first one tap, looking for the second one onto Uber. Can't get it done, he's going to fall down. Tensky steps up next, sees his teammate killed in front of his eyes and looks to avenge that. Has a Deagle, Kevlar and Smoke. He's still hungry to try and clutch this round, although his chances fall somewhere between slim and none. And there we go, he will get picked off from Nifty. So Selfless are getting themselves a couple more rounds here.
Definitely, I mean, good that they won that round without taking too much damage. Yes, they lost a couple of players, but one of them was a player with a Mac-10, so it's not detrimental or anything like that. So that's what they need to be doing. Hopefully they'll take this round in the same fashion, losing very little players, since they are going to buy up 3 more Mac-10s, obviously knowing that it's an opportunity to rake up some dollars with the SMG bonus. We are going to be seeing them gathering up all their players right now towards Upper B. And it's going to be a 5-man B bomb side stack here from Dignitas, so this could get real messy here in just a second.
Expect with these Molotovs, though, that they're going to clear out some positions. First off, Mainline, what is going on? He runs ahead of his team, and he falls down. Fair enough, Selfless should still convert this round, but that's going to hurt so much. Config, in the meanwhile, will burn to death, courtesy of Nifty and Uber. And I feel like Selfless realized this is a B stack, so they look to back away.
I think that's why they sent out Mainline first, was to see if it was a stack. I don't know if he got enough information to really know for sure if it was or not. But we had Dignitas, after a couple of kills, actually started falling off, kind of second-guessing, thinking that maybe Selfless would reroute through underpass to the A-bomb site. They're wrong. And Selfless hold their ground, get back into the B and plant, but there's still some CTs in position here, but looks like Selfless is going to be able to start clearing it out now, and they are going to be able to take the round. So it got a little bit tense there as they were starting to run into a big B bomb side stack, but they're able to get through it. They're able to get to 13-5, but here comes the opening rifle round, and here's where things are going to get a lot tougher on Selfless.
This is a potential gateway, though, to get back into this map. If they can win this first rifle round from Dignitas, knock the economy back down once more. This is Selfless's chance, you've got to feel. There's an open play for Nifty. The rest of the team filtering through with assault rifles. Dignitas have enough utility, though, to make a go of this. Smoke lands in ramp, going to keep any push dead in its tracks for now, but Relix deciding to actually push through the smoke with the pop flash. Kirby setting up with a crossfire with Rubino. This grenade has damage written all over it. How much is it going to do? Pretty significant damage to both Mainline and Mitch. They're now one headshot away from death. Kirby, in the meanwhile, dropping down from stairs. And there's a team kill again. This time it's Uber onto Relix. In fairness, though, he did bag MSL just beforehand. But with Uber very low in a 3-on-3, this is looking good for Dignitas. The bomb is now traversing across to the site. It's not going to go down as the kill comes in on to Nifty. Uber's still one of these last two remaining players, and now he's all that remains. He's on Firebox. He should get a drop onto Config, but he can't convert that into the kill. 1 on 3 now, and surely Uber can't get it done. Dignitas have just derailed Selfless. You thought that was their chance, and it's been completely denied.
There was a hope there. I mean, Relics was able to get the intro at the very beginning, but that's unfortunately one of those team kills that actually did have a substantial impact on the round, right? It took out one of your players who was getting you kills, helping you open up the B-bomb side, put you at a man disadvantage. Dignitas just playing discipline, just waiting it out, holding back passively. You see Config, I believe that was, being able to throw kind of a cheeky smoke to be able to get up on top of the box and get some kills without Selfless being able to have really the vision. And now this is Selfless's last hope to stay alive in this series. They bought all that they can. And next round, they probably will have even less to work with, so they need to get this one done. But some aggression here from Tensky on the catwalk. Kieri peeking out connector. He's found a kill as well. Underpass player has pushed out. It's going to be mainline, but it's just Dignitas finding every single frag thus far. Uber finally getting one, but it's a 4 versus 2 now.
Yeah, get a kill, but the damage has already been inflicted so heavily onto Selfless that that wound is starting to hemorrhage. Uber will get it second. But still, the open play for Dignitas with Config and Rubino. MSL in the first half actually had the most first kills with 3. So he was plodding along as well, somewhat of an unsung hero maybe. That bomb is dropped, but it's definitely salvageable from Selfless. Although the position from Config, very aggressively pushed up on the T side of B apps, is going to be difficult to contend with, especially if Selfless decide to pull the trigger on this B play.
Exactly. He has all the information in the world. He basically has upper B and underpass covered, so the rest can focus on just middle and A.
Oh, no,
and
Dust.
Will they check the corner is the big question, because if they can kill Config, they're going to get in the B-bomb site most likely and plant, and they could win the round. But if they don't check this, Config just wins the round right here and now.
Oh, no, Dust, it's happening. The bomb's down. Config will not get the second kill, but the information is crucial. 20 seconds. He has to go to the B site. There's not enough time to retort onto the CTs and push A. Relics, 14 seconds. Now he's actually given a chance for the CTs to get onto the site itself, and Rubino will not pass up on that opportunity. Dignitas now have 10 match points to take us to 2-0, and Selfless in this last round, potentially, they're going to be onto a very, very poor bite. You're expecting to see some Tech 9s in here, Deagles, a Galil also for Uber, so it really is the bottom of the barrel.
That's just a round that hinged on one frag. You know, how much different that would have been if they actually were able to take out Config and get to that B-bomb so that they might be able to survive this map. But now, they're up against the ropes. I don't know if they have Rocky Balboa in their corner or not, though. It's round 12. He's been punched severely in the face several times, but can he come back? It's the question now.
He's punch
for
drunk.
Selfless.
Selfless literally are punch drunk right now. Main line. Unbeknownst to him, Config on the other side of the smoke. Seems to realize there's a pretty high chance he's there, but not landing the shots. Flashbang from Config allows him to escape. It's going to be mid-control, assumed again from Selfless, but this just hasn't worked for them. Maybe with these pistols, they're going to be forced into a more aggressive round, and with 3 Deagles, it just takes the one bullet from one of them. It can shift the dynamic of this round well and truly on its head. Uber will get one. MSL, meanwhile, will answer back in kind. Config with the M4. And that, ladies and gents, you have to feel is all she wrote for Selfless. Relics pulls out the smoke just in time to get wrecked, and well, there you go. It's going to be another clear-cut map for Dignitas. 16-5, 16-6. Very comfortable victory in the end.
Yeah, I mean, again, the most dominant series we've seen so far this tournament. Gotta take it from a positive angle. For one, Dignitas is playing really well, especially Config, which is what you want to be seeing in this stage of the tournament. When you think later down the road, Dignitas